All right, joining the show now for the first edition of Camp Chronicles for day one, August 12th of our junior season, both our junior seasons. We've got Hugh Wells, D lineman from Mass Maritime. Hugh, what's going on?
I'm happy to be on the show. Obviously, I'm a fan and feel like I'm finally making my debut. So pretty
I'm
pumped.
pumped. I'm pumped. So we're taping this Wednesday. We're moving in tomorrow. So by the time this drops, people will be hearing it on Thursday. So I mean, you've been on or you were on campus in the spring for lacrosse, which was probably nice. What's it kind of mean
Yeah,
to
it
go
was
back
definitely
for football?
well, definitely. It finally feels like it's about time being
Yeah.
on the campus for lacrosse. It was fun. It was really just a tease. Though. Only got like 4 or 5 games maybe in. And we did have football practice, but it felt like kindergarten football. Like you were
Yeah.
just running around, couldn't really do anything. They didn't let us do much, but finally, it'll be good to put a helmet on, some shoulder pads. We did get one scrimmage in though. That was full
Mhm.
contact. We were able to get that by. We had to test like the whole team though, and
Yeah.
it was pretty tough on the COVID protocols, but
Yeah.
it was still
That's
pretty fun.
brutal. Now, both of us, we haven't had a real camp, which is kind of weird. Like we're going into our junior year, we haven't had a real camp because freshman year we had orientation, sophomore year,
Yeah.
COVID wiped it out. So, how excited are you
Yeah.
to actually have a real camp where like we're going to pretty much just have a full month to focus on playing football and just competing like that? Like we don't have to worry about doing really anything else.
Oh, I think it's gonna be pretty sweet. I feel like this it's always my big wake up calls when Hard Knocks comes on, and
Yeah.
last night Hard Knocks. I don't know if you watched it or not, but like
Yeah.
now I'm like I was ready, but like now I'm really ready.
It's
So
fired up.
and I think it's sweet just to be with the boys and just do what we do best. So
Now mine is I'll rewatch Friday Night Lights, the the
uh
like series, not the movie, but I'll try to rewatch that or at least
really,
get a couple episodes in. That's the one, especially in high school, that one fired me up. But like Hard Knocks, like you said, when that premieres, we're
yeah,
like getting ready to go. Like we're right there, which is pretty sweet.
yeah. Hard Knocks, and usually when Last Chance U comes out, it's my that's my call to action. That's my like, all right, get your shit together. I mean, I know obviously we've been working out all summer, but like now it's like, all right, you're in that mental state to play football now.
Yeah. What sucks with Last Chance You now too that it's just basketball. They changed over from football to basketball,
Yeah,
which
I haven't even paid attention to it now.
no, it sucks. But so, what was your favorite season of Hard Knocks? Because there's been a bunch of good ones, or like your favorite one that you watched. Because I mean, the Jets one was probably one of like the fan
Yeah.
favorites when they did it with like Cromartie, Rex Ryan. The last year when they did both LA teams was pretty sweet. Do you have a favorite season?
It's funny. We were kind of talking about this last night. I think the Texans has probably like all the best clips, like the best individual clips is from the
Yeah,
Texans ones. You got Alfred Blue and Brian
Brian Cushing.
Cushing going at it. Like that's a great clip.
That one's awesome. That one's awesome.
And then we got D Hop, and then isn't DeAndre Hopkins in that one too? And he's just
Yeah, it's him
right.
versus D'Angelo Hall. That
Him
one
and
where he's
him and
like,
that Redskins guy,
yeah, he's like, I fear God, homie. He has
right?
that one.
Him and that. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of good one-liners in that one, so
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite.
that's a good one. So you said you've been working out this summer. What's been like the biggest change for you to get ready for the season and like get prepared for it?
Well, let's say last summer, I don't even think I went to a gym once.
Okay.
It was all in my backyard with dumbbells and just body weight stuff and going for like runs. But this summer, I've actually been able to get into a gym, so that's probably the biggest change.
How are your numbers looking? Solid?
Uh, Pretty good. I've never been a huge weight room guy, but I'm moving around 225 on the bench now, which is good. And I put up 4 plates on the squat for a couple times, so I'm feeling pretty good.
That's sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But so one of our questions we always ask on the show to anybody that comes on, we do what people listen to before games. So I know we're a ways out from at least our scrimmage, but like, so
Uh,
you got 3 songs right before a game. What are you gonna
okay.
rock with? Like, what are your
Okay.
3?
I like that you answer this question. So I'm definitely gonna go. Here it is. It's I actually have a pretty defined answer. So I'm gonna go on to my Spotify. I'm gonna go to the Nas New York State of Mind album.
Okay,
And I'm gonna put on Represent.
that's a
So
good one.
Represent by Nas, and then I'm gonna put on probably Victory by P Diddy and
Awesome.
Biggie. And I usually save that for big games though, or like a big wrestling match. That's how I use
Yep.
Victory, and then Stranglehold, Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent holds it
Yep.
down. So those are my 3 songs right there.
And then, do you have any like weird pregame ritual? Like, is that really nobody knows about? Like something that you have to eat before games, like that superstitious stuff, or a certain way you'll tape up, or what's your little pregame ritual?
Oh, I gotta stretch. I probably spend like 20 minutes stretching at least.
Yep.
Like or in just rolling out and like using lacrosse balls, a bunch of different stuff like that. And then
Now,
I don't like to talk to anybody too. I don't talk
mhm.
to anybody.
Now, has the stretching, is that because of wrestling you started stretching so much? Do you think, or is that just you've been stretching like forever, like since you were a kid, like during like youth football?
So like during youth wrestling, like my coach like told me once, like, yeah, like you guys could go home, do push-ups and stuff, but you guys should also go home and stretch. But I like took that stretching part really literal.
Yep.
And then I guess it's kind of become like therapeutic too. It's like just I feel like I'm ready to go whenever I'm loose. So
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know. I've been doing it ever since.
now, how much has wrestling do you think helped you as a D lineman? Like how, because you always hear like offensive linemen are always the big ones that say like they were wrestlers. Stephen Neal obviously was a guy that was all American in college and won
Yeah.
Super Bowls with the Pats. How much does it help like as a D lineman or especially an edge rusher?
I'd say like most of my success in football in high school comes from and then now comes from my high school wrestling
Mhm.
experience. Like I feel like such a better athlete. Like I feel like I can move way better than anybody else.
Yep.
Like, I'm not gonna like I'm not a crazy raw strength guy,
Mhm.
but I just feel like I can move. Like you can ask Mac Brown too. Like it's
Oh
actually
yeah.
3/4 of our D line, all are good high school wrestlers, and
Yeah.
I'd say we have the best D line in the conference. So
Yeah, that's gonna be it'll be tough to practice against, but it'll be nice to watch on Saturdays while
yeah,
you guys go to work. It'll be pretty sick.
yeah.
Wait, so who's the
And
oh
I think
Jerry,
it just
Jerry wrestled, right?
Jerry is a good high school wrestler.
And
I
then yeah,
think like and
yeah,
Mac
well,
Brown.
Matt did.
I think it's just knowing how to use your body in ways other people have never.
Mhm.
If first day of wrestling practice, every year you're sore and muscles you didn't even know you
Yeah.
had. So like those are like these are muscles you're never gonna hit in the weight room. You're never gonna hit doing field work. It just you
Mhm.
have to know how to like it's just the way of the road when it comes to that stuff. And yeah, maybe I'm not gonna out strength you, but I feel like I have a lot of functional strength. I used to say that in high school when
Mhm.
kids would be benching more than me and like doing all this stuff. Like, hey, I got functional strength though. So
It's like live action strength. You're better when you get into live situations, stuff like that.
yeah,
Strong, or at least
that's
stronger in that aspect.
yeah. Or when it gets uncomfortable, when you get tired. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Maybe I might be blowing smoke. It's probably placebo effect, but
it's all
it's what
good.
you gotta believe in something. That's what I believe in.
Now, as a freshman, how much did it help you working against a guy like Wiz, Weidenhoff, guys that have graduated since but were pretty good offensive tackles?
Oh, it's definitely good competition. Going against Wiz that was extremely humbling. Like going against another tall, lanky guy,
Yep.
that's your that you really feel like you're splitting hairs. Like stuff that normally works doesn't work anymore. So you got to
Mhm.
find new stuff. But definitely good experience.
Yeah, that's got to be so. Like you said, especially going against a guy your size, like, or the same build as
Yeah,
you, cannot be easy. Like if you work inside, you're working against guys that are a little bit shorter, a little bit bigger, but you can out quick them. Wiz was
yeah,
tall, quick, and athletic, so that must have been pretty brutal.
yeah.
Or
I couldn't really get much on him. It was really a wash every time I went against him. But
yeah. Now, as an edge rusher, what like who's the player you maybe play a lot like, or you think you play a lot like, and what guys do you like? Do you watch any film of other guys playing, or just like the big highlights of other edge rushers in the NFL or in
Um,
college?
yeah, I'd say Bloomfield native Dwight Freeney.
Yep.
That's a guy I like to watch, and that's a guy I like to try to model my game after. I think I know he's a little bit on the shorter end, but I think
Mhm.
he's a dog.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, he might not even be that short, but he's not like some like huge
Yeah, he's not like a monster.
Jadavion. He's not like Jadavion Clowney or something, you know.
Right, right.
But he
Yeah.
just manages to get his stuff done. He's just so athletic that he can just figure it out.
I mean, him and Robert Mathis too. That's like the best pass rushing duo of all time, and it's great. Freeney's gonna. I think Freeney and Mathis are both eligible for the Hall of Fame next year, which will be crazy to see if
Yeah,
both should get in. Which will be pretty sick to see a Connecticut guy get into the Hall of Fame.
that'd be really cool. And then I'd like to say I like watching LT if I need like motivation, the
Yeah,
real LT.
yeah, not LaDainian Tomlinson, Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor, the real LT. I like seeing what he's got to do. He's always a fun person to watch.
My dad and I were talking about it the other day, talking about him, how he was just for like 6, 7 years, just the best player in all of football. Not even like the best defensive player. He was
Just
just
the best
throwing
player.
dudes around like it was nobody's business.
Yeah.
And he also didn't seem like the guy that would go home and hit the gym or work super hard off the field, which is also amazing with how dominant he actually was. He was just a freak of nature.
Yeah, some guys I think are just like that. They can just go home and eat Cheetos, you know.
Yeah. For him it was smoke crack.
Yeah.
That was his Cheetos.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big difference between the two. But I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. That's all. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all I gotta say. Now, so we've got the season coming up. So during camp, like I said, we haven't had a real camp. Are you prepared? I guess because I'm still trying to mentally prepare, like meetings all day, practice, lift, stuff like that. Are you feeling mentally prepared right now, before you move in?
I mean, I'm the type of guy where I like to just jump right in. I try not to think about it too much
Mhm.
because then I'll start getting antsy. But I mean, I'm 100% gonna be antsy, but I'm just, my plan of action just jump right in. I know my body's as good as it's gonna be right now. Like you
Mhm.
already put all the coins in the bank. There's nothing much I can do right now to get my body more ready.
Yep.
But so I'm pretty confident in that, and I'm just ready to go. I think I'm just gonna jump right in, not think about it too much, and just go try to play some football with my friends.
Yeah. Now, how weird is it going to be for us walking around campus with orientation going on? It's going to be kind of nice to see that going on and us not be in it.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet, like to actually like after a long day of camp, like oh, we can actually go to like Chili's or something and get some burgers. You know,
Yeah.
I was thinking that like instead of have to go run more or get yelled at or have to do push-ups and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be very nice to be relaxed and just focus on football.
Now, did you apply to be a squad leader or no?
No,
No.
I was busy enough with academics, lacrosse,
Yeah.
football, and I'm gonna tutor also this semester. So
What are you tutoring in?
I'm waiting for the application thing to come out, but I'll probably do some license like course classes like the marine trans class, and then I'll do writing. I'm pretty confident. I'm not really good at math, but I'm a pretty
Yeah,
decent writer, so I think I could help kids make some good essays. So
that's good. Now, you know the one kid that'll be there for you for license major help is
oh, Joe
Joe.
Serrato.
Joe's still gonna be trying to
Yeah,
pass. What was it? Coastal Nav. He's gonna still be trying to
yeah.
pass that.
He's still trying to bang out that coastal nav.
So you were also speaking to Joe and like you guys being transportation majors. You guys were also on the ship that
Yeah,
went out for just like 30 days, and you guys just kind of floated in the ocean.
yeah.
Were you able to catch a lift? Like, how was the weight room situation on the boat? Because I've heard it kind of stinks. Like that's at least what I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like to say it stinks, but for me, it's just like the whole ship in general. I describe it to people as a football locker room. So it's a 600 or 400 person, depending on how loaded we are, like 400 person football locker room. So you're in there, you're sweating it out no matter what. no
Yep.
matter what, you're going to be sweaty, greasy, oily. And then the weight room, it just honestly, I like a gritty weight room, like something that's rusty,
Yeah.
something that smells like steel, that, like that smell.
Mhm.
Like you pick up a plate and your hands all black and charred, like the paint's rubbing off. That's what kind of gets me going. And there's nothing else to do on the ship but lift. So I'm lifting 6 days a week with a with a pretty disciplined like program I wrote for myself. And like I felt like really good. So
Did
I
you have a
happen to like the weight room on the ship.
did you have a workout partner? Like, who was there anybody that stayed consistent with you for those 6 days, or maybe
Oh yeah.
worked out with you for 5 days?
Yes, senior captain Brendan Crow and I, and even Mac Brown gets in there too. We just like to we go in there, make some noise, Ted Nugent blaring,
Yeah.
that's that's what we had. It's a good time. I kind of like the weight room on the ship. It just, you're so focused. That's the really only thing you got going on. So
Senior captain Brendan Crone, junior captain Mac Brown. It's gonna be weird saying. That's gonna be
yeah.
weird. So before I let you go, Hugh, um, as an edge rusher, a lot of edge rushers in the NFL have like sick drip. What's gonna be your style for the season? Because I know
Um,
you're a taped fingers guy. I know that, but are you gonna keep
yeah.
with that going or?
Yeah. We don't go much past the 80s. We really try to stay in the 70s
Oh,
for our inspiration. And kind of like when my dad used to play, but whenever he shows me pictures of his old high school squad, but you got to make sure your fingers are taped. That's also just functional too.
yeah.
Wrist tape, obviously. I don't really go with the gloves. That's way too new.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really. What am I going out there catching passes? What do I need like fancy gloves for? And and then obviously, I mean, I do usually do a little bit of a little Zeke roll action sometimes, just
Oh
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
just to
Show
get a little airflow,
Yeah,
airflow.
show off the abs. That's what you're doing. You're built as an edge rusher. You can do that, but
Yeah,
if one of the O linemen tries to do it, it's just frowned upon.
yeah. So a little crop top action, just a slight though. You don't want to look like a d bag out there.
Yeah.
And then bicep bands that kind of
Yo,
gets the blood flowing, constricts you a little bit, makes the biceps pop, and then that's about it. That's what I got going on.
you got to find one of the old, like the Lawrence Taylor neck rolls, like the vintage ones, because that would be like the perfect look with the taped hands and with the taped fingers and gloves. Like that would be,
Yeah,
that would cap it off.
yeah. I'm that if I do that, that'd probably be a senior year thing. I
Yeah,
feel like I want to prove myself first. I don't like to dress fancy if I don't got the
right.
stats to prove it. So I'll keep it pretty conservative until I'm wreaking havoc. That's my
Yeah.
plan.
I've made so many Madden players in my day, like with that look, with the white neck pad, the taped hands and taped fingers with the bicep bands too. So I mean, it
Yeah,
just it's a sick look. It's a classic look too. So
yeah. And then hopefully it doesn't get cold, because if it gets cold, I did the old Vaseline on the arms trick. So
I was gonna say you're not a sleeves guy. You're no sleeves
yeah,
never pretty much.
I definitely get cold. I'm not gonna be like too tough to admit that. Definitely
Yeah.
get cold, but I just try to throw on the Vaseline and then it'll make do.
No, I've never done that. So did you do Vaseline for like the Bridgewater game last year?
Oh
Or
yeah,
2 years ago?
I was
Oh,
lathered in Vaseline for the Bridgewater game.
it's
That was freezing. But
Oh my god, that's gotta feel just so gross on your arms. Oh my god.
it wasn't too bad. It actually worked. It's like an extra layer of fat, so it's pretty good.
Okay. That's not a
So,
bad idea. I've never heard that before, so definitely try that
yeah.
before you throw sleeves on, I guess.
Yeah, my good old Uncle Buck taught me that trick.
Good old
So
Uncle Buck. I like that.
yeah.
But all right, Hugh. I appreciate you coming on. We got moving day tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to seeing you then and kicking off our junior year camp, which is weird to say. But I'm
Oh, yeah.
excited, man.
Sweet. Well, thanks for having me. That was definitely a pleasure. And I like some of those questions. Had me thinking. So
Just peppering you with them, man. Got to keep you on your toes.
yeah.
All right. Thank you for listening to this episode of the My Parents Office podcast and the First Camp Chronicles. Stay tuned next week. We'll drop Tuesday and Thursday next week with updates with other players throughout camp. So like I said, stay tuned for that. And thank you for listening.